This is a replacement battery for the Ego brand of lawn tools. I was sent this to review for free. If you wanted to purchase it, the MSRP on this battery is $85. They haven't paid me for my review, and my opinion remains my own. Alright, so this is the battery. It says 56 volts, lithium-ion, 5 amp hours. And there is a button, and you push the button. There are some lights. I see 3 green lights kind of equally spaced around the button. And on the inside here it says model EGL1828. So this battery weighs 4¼ pounds. Now if we compare that to an Ego branded 5 amp hour battery, that battery weighs 5 pounds. So this guy is 3/4 pound lighter. Also, this Ego battery has kind of overmolded rubber. This battery is all plastic, so there's no overmolded rubber. This is the Ego Pad 5000. It's a 400 watt inverter. It also has USB ports and a light. The light's turning on here. It's working. So this battery is working with and is powered by the Pad 500. I've seen other replacement Ego batteries that do not work with this guy because the BMS didn't work quite right. So that's a good sign that this guy is supported by this one. So this is the Ego Nexus power station. So it does not appear to be working with the Ego Nexus power station. So it looks like it may not fully comply with the Ego BMS communication system as required by the Nexus power station. Alright, this is the Ego portable area light. And it is working with the Ego portable area light. Alright, it works with the LB5300 leaf blower. Works with the HT2410 hedge trimmer. Alright, it works with the 1520S string trimmer. Alright, it works with the PH1400 power head. So the older black regular speed battery chargers is charging it just fine with no complaints. The high speed battery charger is charging it just fine with no complaints. And it runs the 21-inch select cut lawnmower as well. Alright, I am running down the battery in the lawnmower, and once it gets fully discharged, I'll charge it up and see how much power it takes. Alright, we're getting a red flashing light, which means low battery. Alright, it is running the leaf blower, but we do have red lights showing. So I'm going to let it go until it stops running the leaf blower. Alright, it stopped running the leaf blower there. Alright, so when you push the button on this battery, initially it does green, but then it flips to red. And so it is fully discharged. And I'm putting it on the battery charger that I have going through. Power meter here says it's drawing 100 watts and the watt draw is going up. So the battery is being successfully charged by my fast charger. It's currently drawing 150 watts, and that is ramping up. Alright, it looks like the draw has kind of topped out at about 195 watts. So almost 200 watts of power going into this battery. and I have the kilowatt hour reset. We'll find out how many watt hours it takes to recharge this battery fully. Alright, the light here is flashing green, red, and a yellowish white color. So it looks like there are 3 colors that those LEDs can do. Alright, this battery is fully charged up, and it took 270 watt hours. Now, if we take 270 watt hours, we divide by nominal voltage of 56, that's about 4.8 amp hours, and that's assuming it's 100% efficient, and it's not. Being generous, say 90% efficiency, I don't see any way this battery could have a capacity more than about 4.5 amp hours. So I'm going to say that their 5 amp hour battery marking is a little high. It's probably closer to 4.5. It might be as low as 4, but I don't think it's any lower than 4. So say you're getting a 4 amp hour, maybe a 4.5 amp hour battery, but the price is pretty low, and so that's a pretty reasonable price compared to the brand name batteries, at the brand name, even the 4 amp hour batteries. That was the first charge out of the box, so I'm going to run it in the lawnmower all the way down. We'll charge it again. Maybe it'll start getting a little more capacity if it's been exercised a little bit. Push the button, you get our 3 green LED lights. So it's not a fuel gauge style display, it's just a green, red, or yellow type light display. Alright, so this battery is fully charged. I put it in the Ego Nexus power station, and it turns on, it says press and hold reset button. So I'm going to push and hold the reset button. I think it's saying that because it's just testing the screen. But I did the full reset there. I'm going to take the battery out, plug the battery back in. So it's not turning on by default. Hit the power button. It pops up this screen. The light on the battery turns green. But it never actually finishes negotiating with the battery and working. So the BMS in this aftermarket battery is not compatible with the Ego Nexus power station. Now, it has worked with every single other one of my Ego tools, including the 400 watt inverter. So it works with most Ego tools. It seems to be charged by the slow charger and the fast charger, but it's not working with the power station. Alright, the battery ran the lawnmower under no-load conditions for more than 45 minutes, but less than 60 minutes. That's when I push the button. It's initially green, then it turns red. Alright, I have reset the watt-hour counter, and we are going to charge it up again, and we'll see how many watt-hours it takes on the second charge. Alright, battery's fully charged, and again, it took 270 watt-hours to charge it up. Alright, so this battery may not be exactly 5 amp hours, but it's probably more than 4 amp hours. The price is certainly right, and it works in almost all of the Ego tools. So the only thing I found it not work in is the Ego Nexus power station. So if you don't have one of those, you're probably just fine using this guy. And this battery does work just fine in the Ego 400 watt pure sine wave inverter. It's delivering 80 watts out the USB-C port here. So that's a good sign in that it worked better than one of the other third-party batteries that did not work in this guy. So apparently there's something slightly different about the 400 watt inverter from the Nexus power station.